Match dan tentunya merupakan sebuah pertandingan pramusim. Kita akan menyaksikan pertandingan antara Benfica menghadapi Sevilla. Saya Tio Nugroho bersama dengan Ma'ruf El Rumi. Selamat malam. Apa kabar?
Baik.
Salam olahraga.
Salam olahraga, Bung.
Kangen sekali saya siaran dengan
Lama juga kita
Ma'ruf. Ya, Ma'ruf, kalau kita melihat ini Benfica apakah bisa dikatakan menjadi sebuah representatif kekuatan sepak bola Portugal ketika mereka berhasil menjadi juara Eropa di tahun 2016?
Mereka juara Eropa 2016, kemudian mereka 4 musim berturut-turut menjadi juara. Sebelum tahun lalu mereka hanya menempati peringkat kedua, jadi saya pikir ini menjadi salah satu ajang juga untuk Benfica menunjukkan kualitas mereka.
Kalau Anda melihat dari Sevilla sendiri setelah ditinggal Monchi yang hengkang ke raksasa sepak bola Italia AS Roma, apakah memang ini berpengaruh besar bagi Sevilla sendiri di musim lalu?
Kalau kita bicara soal pengaruh besar, apakah kemudian bisa mengubah performa tim seperti Sevilla? Menurut saya Sevilla kan selalu target mereka tidak terlalu muluk-muluk. Paling banter mereka bagaimana masuk zona Liga Champions, masuk zona Liga Eropa. Kalau juara mungkin masih agak berat. Tapi apakah mereka bisa melakukan sesuatu? Kalau kita lihat dari sisi materi pemain, saya pikir tidak terlalu akan banyak perubahan.
Baik, kita akan segera untuk menyaksikan pertandingan babak pertama Benfica menghadapi Sevilla. Kami mengucapkan selamat menyaksikan.
Takes it quickly and then gets it back. Here's shot first of the game, really, from Guilherme Arana, the former Corinthians player from Brazil, and left-footed player who on his right foot didn't really quite connect properly.
That's a good effort from distance. It's worth taking the shot on.
First shot of any anger of the game. You see the grey skies above the stand there. It's been a fairly wet day in this part of Switzerland. Hopefully we won't get any of the thunderstorms that are threatened. Well, having survived a little bit of an onslaught in the opening 5 minutes, Sevilla has at last managed to get a feel of the ball. It was launched long there. I was going to say there wasn't a flag, but it came up late. Wissam Ben Yedder was trying to get on the end of it. Flag was a little late, but an official on the far side, Leroy Hartmann, has had a fairly busy opening 8 minutes. It's the third time he's found a Sevilla player too far forward.
Yeah, he's been busy in the opening 7 minutes. That assistant referee on that side. So 3 good calls. They are guilty. Sevilla are playing that high line, so any ball from back to front over the top in the channels, they are a little bit susceptible. Sevilla not timing their runs just yet.
Just a push there maybe on Gedson Fernandez. Referee says no, so Sevilla retain possession. A bit of space here for Roque Mesa in centre midfield. It's a useful-looking ball, which might launch another attack. Here's Almeida. It's a good idea from Benfica with Eduardo Salvia trying to guide it into the path of Almeida, the fullback who tried to get forward down the right. Pablo Machin looking on, probably the less impressed of the two managers with the opening 10 minutes of this match. Here's Roque Mesa.
Yeah, well, from Sevilla's point of view, there's been no flow to their play so far. It's been a little bit scrappy.
This is Grimaldo, the left full-back. Into the middle it comes, and chance for Pizzi, who's been dangerous on occasions already to create something. Benfica patient with Pizzi. This is Jardel, who's one of the great stalwarts of Benfica. He's won 4 titles and 2 cups. He played in that Europa League final in which Benfica lost to Sevilla so heartbreakingly on penalties. Here's Pizzi again, who likes to get involved. Strong run forward, and still, and then a poor ball, which rather disappointingly gives the ball away to Borja Lasso.
It was a shame that was a good move. Lovely look at the skill in midfield, just trying to find the ball out wide.
Here's Amadou, who is French by nationality but was born in Cameroon. Came to France age 4 and no doubt was celebrating wildly 6 days ago as his nation won the World Cup for the 2nd time, first time on foreign soil. Here's Roque Mesa. Bit of space here for Sevilla. This is Sarabia. Looks like it's just going to defeat the run of Joaquin Correa, the Argentine midfield player.
Yeah, you can see when Sevilla are picking up, when Benfica are picking up possession, they're trying to drive forward through the middle of midfield and face him in Gedson Fernandes especially. He's had some really good runs, powerful midfield player. Covers the ground really well.
Benfica a little bit laboured in getting the ball out there, but they finally do. And there was a high foot there raised. It's going to be a free kick to Benfica. Nicolas Castillo was the victim, as we'll see.
Yeah, Amadou just slightly late there, trying to win the ball.
Well,
too painful.
Well, he's made a fairly good start to his career with his new club. He's also played for Nancy as well as Lille in France. Ibrahim Amadou, he looks a strong, mobile centre-half. He's going to have to defend a free kick here with Pizzi standing over the ball. One of the scorers in that behind closed doors friendly against Swindon Town on Wednesday.
Yeah, he was just a little bit too keen. Some balls you can't win. Sometimes you've got to stand your ground, allow the centre forward to have the ball. Castillo just got a little nick on that. Took one in the face, but he'll be absolutely fine.
Here's Jardel out to Grimaldo. Grimaldo was born in Valencia but started his footballing career with Barcelona before moving to Lisbon.
You can see the threesome of Sarabia, Nolito and Ben Yedder are trying to work ever so close together, but they can't get the ball.
It's a clever ball by Fessa, and there's a real chance here for Benfica, and it's not been taken. It was an excellent opportunity. Rafa getting on the end of a really excellent ball by Lubomir Fessa, the Serbian international.
A lovely ball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Straight over the centre halves.
They look vulnerable, Sevilla at the back. And Benfica haven't yet been able to punish them. But the only real shot of any note has come at the other end. Here's Pizzi, though, finding Grimaldo. Cross looks a little overhit.
He's the outball at the minute. Nicolas Castillo is making runs a little bit deeper. He's always heading towards the far post. A lovely first touch about him, brings his midfield players into the game.
That ball by Fessa was probably the best moment of the game so far in terms of creativity. It really was a wonderfully angled attempt. Here's Ben Yedder. Suddenly Sevilla are on the attack. Decent shot. And it's comfortably held. Just driven in from the edge of the penalty area by Pareja.
Yeah, a little thumbs up from Sarabia. A nice ball from Ben Yedder into his feet. Just trying to shift it onto his left-hand side, trying to work an angle.
Here's Pizzi, who's dropped very deep. He likes to get on the ball and try and make things happen, and that's another useful-looking ball forward, but Amadou's got the measure of that. more open now, the game. Covering challenge by the experienced Jardel to get there in front of Joaquin Correa. And then forward by Grimaldo. And suddenly there are red shirts forward here. This is Salvio. It's a decent looking ball. And the shot by Pizzi is deflected for the game's first corner.
He's having a big impact in the game, Pizzi, just coming off that left-hand side. Nice little ball from Eduardo Salvio.
Corner is taken short. It's gone back to the taker, Pizzi. Oh, poor connection in the end from Germán Conti, the big centre forward from Argentina, who'd come up for the corner, which was a shame. They worked it quite well. It came back to Pizzi, who picked out Conti. As you'll see, the shot was nowhere near the goal.
Yeah, it's poor technique in the end from Conti.
Another one who was on target at St George's Park in Staffordshire earlier this week. Comfortable win for Benfica against the side from League 2, Swindon Town. Amadou away. Referee says play on. Ben Yedder obliges. Vasquez with the ball out wide. Here's Lasso. Useful one! Very, very difficult to defend, but defend it they did, Benfica. It was whipped in towards Wissam Ben Yedder, who's a master poacher, and he couldn't quite get the touch at the near post.
Well, that was the ball of the game so far. And Lasso just driven in towards that 6-yard box. You'd have been expecting Ben Yedder to be on the move there.
Ben Yedder's subsequent header has gone out of play. It was a lovely ball in from the left-hand side. So still goalless in Switzerland. Benfica won the title 36 times in Portugal. A record, of course. Sevilla have only ever won it once in Spain, although they've been fabulously successful in the Europa League recently. Cup, of course, stayed in Spanish hands with Atletico. It's clever play by Grimaldi. It doesn't find its way through to Pizzi, and in the end, combination of Amadou and Pareja make sure that Benfica don't make any inroads. Jardel's header is almost seized upon, but Benfica have it back now.
Yeah, that's normally in pre-season games where you do see a little bit of rustiness is at the top end of the pitch. Just providing that killer pass, the correct way to pass.
Well, we've had two really, really good passes, one at each end so far. Fesa with that through ball down the middle for Benfica, and then Sevilla with Borja Lasso, a really wonderfully whipped delivery from out wide. That will please the respective coaches. Well, let's just watch this attack unfold. What's the coach's mindset? What are they looking for in games such as these?
I think more so the temperament of the players, how they're putting the shift in. I think in 20 minutes, I think both coaches will be quite happy. I think for the technical side of it, I think it's an aspect where you probably look at it after the game. For a player's point of view, you want to play well, you want to get on the ball.
It's ended up as quite a decent ball, even though it didn't look as if it was going to be initially. And suddenly, Borja Lasso is on his way again from that wide left position at the back. And shot eventually was fired in by Guilherme Arana. Sevilla's turn to ask questions. We reached the 20-minute mark. This is Vasquez. Lasso. Daniel Carrico. Pareja finds Roque Mesa for Sevilla.
Yeah, they keep looking in behind, and Ben Yedder's making some good runs, actually. He's coming short.
This is Daniel Carrico, former Sporting player, also had a brief spell at Reading. Pareja.
See that high line again. They have to be patient, Sevilla. Keep hold of the ball. Try not to force it.
That's what they're doing at the moment. Finally, they get the ball arrowed forward towards Borja Lasso, is offside. Local boy from Seville. Made his debut last August and has made 4 senior appearances for the club.
Just trying to arch his run there.
He looks lively, doesn't he, down that left-hand side? He's offside there, but as you say, he was willing to make himself available. It's a rather strange clearance, which has been greeted with an equally poor header. And here's Salvio for Benfica. It's a nice little step over, and the cutback was intended for him by Almeida. Again, it was a promising moment there for the Portuguese runners-up last season.
Yeah, you can see 1 or 2 players now. They've got that rustiness out of their system. I think Eduardo Salvio is just producing over the last few minutes. Pizzi's had some nice touches. The focal point is obviously Castillo, the centre-forward for Benfica.
Yeah, he scored in that recent friendly against the Serbian club, Napredak. Castillo hasn't had too many chances yet. Here's Mesa. Carrico. Comes to Amadou. And now Pareja. Offside, surely. Not a difficult decision, I don't think, for the official that time.
Now, Sarabia went very early again. They have to be more patient, Sevilla. They're trying to keep hold of the ball, but they are trying to recognise that the line is quite high. So they're just trying to force that pass a little bit too quickly.
Pensive Benfica coach Rui Vitória joined the club from Vitória Guimarães in 2015. Plenty of noise inside the stadium. It's not full, but it holds 26,000 at capacity. Certainly there's plenty of volume, which is always lovely to see in a pre-season game. There are the Benfica fans enjoying their break in the beautiful alpine scenery of the Swiss nation.
Yeah, we had a shot there, the 2 managers looking quite pensive, and I just wonder at what point or at what stage of the game do they think about winning the game, because obviously every coach wants to win the game, but the most important thing is getting the minutes for your players throughout the pre-season.
Well, they've got 11 substitutions up their sleeves. Generally they will be brought on in 3 separate waves. You might well see some changes at half-time. Sevilla named a 20-strong squad for this friendly. They were due to play in the International Champions Cup alongside Benfica, but the fact that they finished 7th in the league and lost the Copa del Rey final to Barcelona meant that they had to enter the Europa League at a far earlier stage than they'd have wanted to. And as a result, they have fixtures to fulfill while that competition is going on. Here's Grimaldo. That's a really good ball. Oh, and then a heavy touch after an excellent move by Benfica. The heavy touch in the end was by Rafa Silva. Nice little chest down by Castillo from the excellent cross, and perhaps deserved better from Rafa than the touch that he produced.
Yeah, that was the best move of the match from Benfica, especially down the left-hand side. Alex Grimaldo got himself in a great position. He put a great cross in towards Nicolas Castillo, just chested it off to Rafa, and his touch was just a fraction heavy.
Head off for Sevilla, who are trying to attack now, but it's back with Rafa. Trying to do better this time, and he has done. Nice run across the field. He finds Pizzi. Pizzi in turn picking out Salvio. It's another promising move by Benfica, but the intended ball into the box was blocked, and then well, that's very, very neatly done indeed by Arana, who's back on the ball here. Very tidy midfield play by him. Here's Lasso, and here's Ben Yedder. Uncharacteristically poor from him, but in the end, safety first.
Yeah, he was in two
Grimaldo
minds.
headed it away.
Sorry, John, he was in two minds there, Ben Yedder. He was wanting to whip one across the near post, but just stood one up. This is the move of the match so far. Great cross, lovely chest off. And Rafa there, just a fraction too heavy with his touch. He'll be frustrated at that, because that's not a hard one for a pro, just to take that in your stride.
First corner of the game for the Spanish club with 25 minutes gone. Goalkeeper Vlachodimos hasn't really been tested yet. Header was away by Castillo, and then it was thumped behind by Almeida for another Sevilla corner kick. Vlachodimos, the goalkeeper, didn't expect to be playing in this game. Miles Vilar's name appeared on the team sheet initially, but he's withdrawn, and Vlachodimos is in. Second corner in succession then. Outswinger this time, and nicely flicked away. Here's Daniel Carrico. Now Pareja. Searching ball forward, too long, and well judged by Sherman Conti, who allowed it to run through to the goalkeeper with the Greek-sounding name, but a German. He's got a brother, actually, Pangiotas, who plays in France for Nîmes. He's a German under-21 international. Neither goalkeeper really yet has had any great need to stretch themselves.
No, I think Benfica look the most slickest so far. They look the better side. I think in patches, Sevilla have had some nice touches in midfield, but at the top end of the pitch, at the two sides, Benfica look the most dangerous.
All over the top again. He's too long. Well, he's tall. He's 6'3" Vlachodimos, but the bounce there almost caught him out a little bit. He had to catch it with his fingertips.
See the game now just starting to open up in midfield. A few players got a little bit more room to work in.
Eduardo Salvio's little dummy is very well read by Borja Lasso. He's been one of the better players in a Seville shirt so far. That'll please the manager when it's seeing a youngster settle into a game. I mean, I know it's a friendly, but Benfica are quality opposition. Seeing someone like Borja Lasso, 22 years old, hasn't had too many opportunities, but looking comfortable at this level.
Yeah, he's not looking phased at all. And the ball's been in at his feet. He's had one or two crosses from the left-hand side. He's working ever so hard. That'll please the manager.
Here's Pizzi finding Almeida. Jardel. And now Grimaldo, who's been busy down that left-hand side on occasions, more in an attacking than defensive sense as well.
I think they're the more patient side as well.
Facer gets it forward. Oof, and that's a foul which I suspect in a competitive game might have drawn a yellow card on Rafa, but the referee, Lucas Fandret, I think has been reasonably generous there. Quickly taken free kick, Salvio. And again. It's a heavy touch this time by Alex Grimaldo. Spanish under-21 international Grimaldo. Here's Roque Mesa. Made 15 appearances for Swansea last season in their ill-fated Premier League campaign. Here is Lasso. Roque Mesa. Uno para uno, which you heard him shout, I think means 1 for 1. I think the Spanish coach Pablo Machín is, I think, telling his players to get a little tighter.
Yeah, man for man. That's normally what you want in a pre-season game. Don't worry about 11v11. Just try and take care of the opposite number.
Half an hour gone then. Benfica 0, Sevilla 0 in a prestige friendly in Switzerland, which has been a pretty entertaining encounter so far without too much goalmouth activity. There's been some decent play overall, particularly from Benfica in red, who have certainly been the better side.
Well, that's a late one.
Yeah, there's been a few sort of fairly ill-judged tackles, haven't they, for... I don't know, you've obviously played in these sort of games. Do you deliberately hold back, or do you play as hard as you normally would? I mean, are you conscious that it's a friendly match and perhaps you don't need to go in as hard as you would in a competitive fixture?
It's a good question. It's a little bit of both. You want to play at full tilt, but you know you're very early into your pre-season. And I think more of the fouls that we're seeing is just a lack of timing.
Ball not quite coming through there and eventually cleared by Benfica. So what you're saying is you're more concerned about yourself than anyone else's health.
What, a footballer taking care of himself?
Who'd have thought
Never,
it?
John. If there's a 50-50 to be won, I'm pretty sure even in pre-season games, you look after yourself.
Definitely.
Well, it hasn't been that type of game. It's been a good game to watch.
It hasn't looked like a friendly, has it, this one, to be fair? It's been competitive and well contested so far. Here's Wissam Ben Yedder.
Still worry about that high back line.
There's a man spare if Sevilla can find him. It's Arana. Goes for goal. It was well blocked. He was trying to steer it into the far corner, but there was a Benfica defender in the way. They will try and counter now with Rafa, who's failed to keep the ball in. Oh, well, that wasn't very friendly at all, was it?
Absolutely. And he's gone
head-to-head there with Nicolas Pareja, and it's spilling over now into rather ugly scenes. And the referee, Lucas Vandrijk, who has had little or nothing to do really so far, is having to sort out warring opponents, which, well, tells you that they're taking this friendly seriously, if not too seriously.
Yeah, I think Jardel just having a little word with Pareja and tell him to calm down. He was the player that got fouled seconds earlier, so he's probably frustrated.
Well, he's captain of Sevilla, Pareja, so he perhaps should be setting a better example. Rafa and Pareja are being spoken to by Geert Vandrijk.
It's a mismatch, really. Rafa's not that type of player, is he?
Well, the referee's trying to be sensible, but the players don't seem to be taking it on board, do they? I mean, it was silly by Rafa, wasn't it? And then he's cuffed him.
Yeah, well, Pareja's more upset that Rafa just tried a little trick on him. But then Rafa was, as you said, if that was in a real game, I'm pretty sure he would have got a yellow card. But he can't be slapping
absolutely
the opposition player.
If not more.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he's raised his hand to his face. I just wonder whether referees go into friendlies with a different mindset as well.
Pretty sure you're right.
I'm sure they do. Well, it's a feisty friendly, isn't it now? And it's still goalless. And the ball is back with Odysseas Vlachodimos.
It might be a good time to tell you about my most embarrassing moment as a player, actually.
Yeah, we'd like to hear that.
It was a pre-season game out in Italy, and it was Liverpool Football Club, and Graham Souness was the manager, and he put on an 11v11 against the Waiters. And I played up against this little tricky Italian winger, and he nutmegged me about 5 times.
The Waiters?
The Waiters, and I seriously got the red miss. I two-footed the waiter and got sent off, got a red card. And all I was doing was panicking, thinking I was going to be suspended for the first day of the season.
Suspended for taking out a waiter.
Yeah, surprised we didn't sign him. It was actually quite good.
They could have replaced you, maybe.
That was
Is that
quite
what they mean
embarrassing.
by serving a suspension?
Hey. It was quite embarrassing, though.
Yes. I once got nutmegged by a 6-year-old in South Africa when I was on duty with England covering the World Cup, but then I wasn't quite at the same level as you. It was not quite embarrassing nonetheless. Anyway.
I think yours beats mine.
People would have expected less of me, though. 10 minutes to go to half-time at the Letzigrund Stadium in Zurich. Benfica 0, Sevilla 0. Early days in the season, of course, but everything's going to intensify over the next few weeks. Benfica kick off their league campaign on August the 12th with a home game against Vitória Guimarães.
I think the tail of the tape for the first 35 minutes, what I'm seeing is the better side is obviously Benfica. And Castillo's having a really good game, Rafa in behind him, but I do worry about that high line. If Sevilla can knock a couple of passes together between Franco Vasquez and Roque Mesa, they might just get Ben Yedder in. He's been quite quiet.
Mesa's just been penalised for that foul on Eduardo Salvio, who played no part whatsoever in the Argentine World Cup campaign, despite being in the squad. He's won himself a free kick here. Header is always off target, and the whistle had blown in any case.
There's a good little stand-up cross to the far post.
Pereira is now being mercilessly booed by the Benfica supporters, who are outnumbering their Spanish rivals considerably for that little dust-up that he had a moment ago. There's a Sevilla player down injured on the near side. It's Borja Lasso who's in trouble.
I'm not sure whether he was just caught late off the ball. I didn't see too much in it.
First stoppage of any kind, really, in this friendly between two Iberian rivals, as well as the Europa League. 4 years ago, they actually met in the European Cup back in 1957, when Benfica were one of the great forces in European football. Benfica won 3-1 at the old Stadium of Light, and it was a goalless draw in Seville. 5 years later, the great Eusebio led Benfica to their second successive European Cup success. They haven't won it since. Indeed, they've got a habit of losing major finals, Benfica. Lost, of course, to Chelsea in the Europa League the year before they lost to today's opponent, Seville. Here's Arana trying to find Ben Yedder. In fact, it's come through to Sarabia. Borja Lasso is up and running again. Here's Daniel Carrico. Mesa, and Pereira being whistled. Just a bit of a lull in proceedings since that altercation involving Pereira a moment ago.
Yeah, it gets to a point in the game, in pre-season games, you get 5 minutes before half-time, you just want to keep hold of the ball, don't want to waste possession.
Here's Jardel, the Benfica captain. Had that header a moment ago, which looped off target, but he'd been penalised anyway. This is Lubomir Fisa, former Partizan Belgrade and Olympiacos midfielder. Almeida. Benfica are doing just that, keeping the ball chipped up towards Salvio. Challenge, though, was by Carrico.
I've seen a lot of hard work from Hassan Ben Yedder, but he's not had too many touches of the ball in dangerous areas so far.
The corners that came to Nout as well. Roque Mesa with the touch. Drops for Franco Vasquez. Goalkeeper has to adjust, but it's a firm volley. Well, who'll be the happier of the two managers at half-time?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Rui Vittoria will be very happy going into half-time. I think he'll relay that message to his players.
5 minutes to go till the interval. It's been hard fought as friendlies go. Occasionally it's bubbled over into dissent, but certainly both teams are looking to try and win it. Benfica have been the silkier.
Now the goalkeeper being tested, though.
No.
That'll be a worry for both managers.
Yeah.
At the top end of the pitch.
Yeah, neither Castillo nor Ben Yedder have really had the sort of opportunity that they've been so successful at converting in the past. Both on target in recent friendly matches. Fess has almost given that away. And then does the second time. And that's a decent ball in towards Ben Yedder by Sarabia. He wasn't quite sharp enough there. The defender got across him and was able to block his path quite easily.
Yeah, it was a lovely pass. But credit Alex Grimaldo just for tucking in, because he spotted the run of Ben Yedder.
Here's Pizzi. That's a useful ball. Here's Eduardo Salvio. Good challenge, though, on him by Borja Lasso. It's probably been the pick of the Sevilla players in this opening half so far. Picked up a foul there for Salvio's rather aggressive nudge.
Yeah, the rotation's good between Eduardo Salvio, Rafa and Pizzi, who goes quite narrow at times. Salvio's come out to this right-hand side for the last 5 minutes.
Vaclik, the underemployed goalkeeper for Sevilla, clears. Here's Ben Yedder. He's aware of the presence of teammate to his left, Roque Mesa, who doesn't score many. Fires arguably the first effort on target of the game, and it's very, very straightforward for Odysseas Vlachodimos.
Yeah, it was a high tariff effort from Roque Mesa, not an easy one to hit. Couldn't generate the power. That's worth taking on just before half-time.
Actually only scored 1 goal in the last 3 seasons, Roque Mesa. Put it on target, but without sufficient power to trouble the goalkeeper. Mistake by Pizzi gives Sevilla the opportunity perhaps to finish the half stronger. Pareja still being booed by the Portuguese members of the crowd.
Gedson Fernandez has had some nice touches in the first half.
Carrico forward towards Arana, and then the Wissam Ben Yedder volley is a long way off target. Made his debut for France recently, Wissam Ben Yedder. Didn't feature in Didier Deschamps' triumphant World Cup squad.
Yeah, just trying to get a little bit of topspin on that, Ben Yedder. Very strong France squad that won the World Cup. Some impressive players got left behind.
Indeed. Dimitri Payet was injured as well, but they had enough quality in the end. Wissam Ben Yedder, this former Toulouse player, probably was in Deschamps' thoughts, although not considered sufficient to make the 23. Now then, here he is again, Wissam Ben Yedder. He's gone down. No foul against German Conti.
Well, he went down very easily. There might have been a little bit of contact.
Might be a counter here from Benfica with Salvio, who's tried to find a way across the edge of that 18-yard box whenever he gets it. He's given it away to Sarabia. And Ben Yedder was in a good position, but it was very well read by Grimaldo again. Benfica trying to finish strongly themselves. They want a free kick. It's not going to come. Castillo has gone down, but nothing given. Here's Mesa. Last minute of the 45. It's had passion. It's had purpose. It's had precision at times this game. What it really needs is a sucker punch, really. It just the two strikers haven't really got into it, and we haven't had enough efforts on goal, really. Just one on target in the whole half, which is going to be extended by 1 minute.
Yeah, there's been some good play in both midfields. I think Roque Mesa, Vasquez, and especially Gedson Fernandes for Benfica have played well. Rafa's had some nice touches, but you're right, I think the two centre-forwards, Castillo actually started the game really well, but been quiet over the last 15-20 minutes, but we've seen nothing really of Marcin Ben Yedder. Those are the areas I think managers look to try and sharpen the players up the more they go into pre-season. Defenders can deal with certain situations, midfield players are fit and can go box to box, but the real sharp end comes at the top end of the pitch.
Last chance perhaps for Sevilla. Not a very good ball though towards Sarabia, and easily read by the industrious and impressive Grimaldo, who's been brought down. That might well be the last action of this first half. Lukas Vandrić, the Swiss referee, blows his whistle. We've had plenty of industry. We've had the odd bust up. We've had some very, very committed play for a friendly. What we haven't had is a goal, and what we haven't had is an enormous amount of goal-mouth action. But Benfica have probably been the better of the two sides, but Sevilla has to...
Masih 0-0, belum ada gol. Tercipta babak pertama dan kita akan segera menyaksikan pertandingan babak kedua antara Benfica menghadapi Sevilla. Kembali saya akan berbincang dengan Bung Ma'ruf El Rumi. Ya, Bung Ma'ruf, kalau Anda melihat ini Sevilla kembali menjadi satu tim yang bisa dikatakan salah satu tim papan atas di La Liga. Kalau Anda melihat dari kedalaman tim, masuknya Zonzi ini tampaknya memberikan sebuah perubahan kekuatan. Ada seperti Kante kalau di Chelsea.
Iya, tapi kemudian Zonzi sudah mulai dilirik oleh beberapa tim lain juga. Arsenal tertarik, kemudian dan ada angka yang sudah dikeluarkan 40 juta euro atau 40 juta pound yang sudah dikeluarkan untuk Arsenal kalau ingin membawa Zonzi. Kemudian juga kita tahu bahwa mereka lebih sering menjadi feeder. Ada juga pemain belakang mereka Lemente yang sudah gabung dengan Barcelona 30 juta euro. Artinya bahwa tantangannya bukan hanya persoalan bagaimana mempersiapkan tim ini, tapi bagaimana kemudian para pemain-pemainnya tidak melulu untuk kemudian pergi. Ever Banega juga sempat dikaitkan juga dengan Arsenal, meskipun jelas dikatakan bahwa ini pemain yang tidak dijual. Uni Emery ketika dia menangani Arsenal, maka sepertinya ingin bereuni dengan tim yang sudah membesarkan nama dia, kemudian memang cukup sukses bersama dengan Sevilla. Jadi kalau saya pikir bahwa bukan hanya persoalan tim ini secara tactically yang harus dikelola, tapi bagaimana kemudian para pemain ini mulai berbicara untuk mereka tahan, mereka tidak terlalu tergiur uang, dan tentu manajemen klub tidak mulai hanya bicara soal bagaimana mendapatkan uang dari sisi penjualan pemain, tapi juga dari sisi prestasi.
Kalau Anda melihat sisi prestasi, apakah dengan materi saat ini Sevilla bisa berprestasi? Kerangka tim, apakah sudah ada di kubu dari pelatih Pablo Machin?
Kalau kerangka timnya mungkin tidak akan terlalu banyak perubahan yang dimiliki oleh Pablo. Tetap beberapa nama termasuk yang musim lalu tetap ada. Kalau kemudian kerangkanya tidak terlalu banyak berubah dibandingkan dengan musim lalu, mungkin masih bisa bersaing minimal untuk European League ya. Kalau kemudian bicara Liga Champions agak berat, bicara kompetisi di La Liga juga agak berat. Itu yang pertama. Yang kedua adalah salah satu persoalan di musim lalu, tim ini menjadi salah satu tim yang paling sering kebobolan. Dari peringkat tim 8 besar, mereka menjadi tim paling kebobolan kedua terbanyak setelah Real Betis. Real Betis 61, mereka kebobolan 58. Itu satu sisi. Yang kedua adalah bahwa mereka menjadi tim yang juga produktivitasnya sangat minim. Nah, ini menjadi salah satu persoalan. Dan yang menarik menurut saya ketika kemudian pelatih Pablo Machin mengatakan dia agak sedikit tertarik untuk mendatangkan Bastos, pemain yang sekarang berada di kubu Benfica. Persoalannya Benfica memang Bastos menjadi salah satu aktor utama di Porto, dan dia pemain yang agak sulit untuk bisa didapatkan.
Ya, ada satu hal yang menarik kalau saya melihat ada perubahan strategi bermain ketika di Piala Dunia, tim yang memiliki compact defense yang sangat bagus, kemudian melakukan serangan balik, ini yang menjadi pemenang. Apakah Anda akan melihat ini akan menjadi sebuah tren kembali dalam sepak bola?
Mungkin kita harus ingat juga ketika di Piala Eropa saat ketika Chelsea dengan formasi 3 backnya kemudian cukup berhasil di Inggris, kemudian tiba-tiba banyak tim-tim yang mengcopy paste itu. Kemudian ketika Barcelona dengan tiki-takanya di bawah Pep Guardiola, kemudian tim rame-rame untuk bagaimana bisa bermain dengan gaya Barcelona. Nah, di musim ini sebenarnya kalau tim bermain dengan defense bagus kemudian melakukan counter attack, sebenarnya juga tergantung kebutuhan timnya. Spanyol kalau kemudian Perancis melakukan itulah, mereka melakukan dengan counter attack mereka, sempat dikritik oleh Porta mengatakan bahwa lebih baik kita kalah menghadapi Argentina karena sama-sama bermain dibandingkan dengan kalah ketika menghadapi Prancis karena Prancis tidak ingin bermain. Tetapi kan ini taktik, dan ketika bicara taktik adalah bicara soal kebutuhan tim, kemudian apa tim yang dimiliki kekuatan mereka. Nah, saya pikir kalau kemudian kita bicara Sevilla atau kemudian dengan gaya seorang Pablo Machin, mungkin juga mereka tidak akan se-defense itu.
Ya, inilah merupakan sebuah pertandingan persahabatan atau pramusim. Tentunya para pelatih tidak menurunkan formasi terbaik dalam 90 menit. Banyak akan terjadi pergantian pemain. Kalau Anda melihat memang Benfica, apakah memang di Benfica ini cukup bagus sebetulnya dalam kedalaman skuad dibandingkan dengan Porto, meskipun mereka hanya berbeda 3 poin ketika musim lalu?
Salah satu pemain yang sempat atau di musim lalu bersinar adalah Jonas, pemain yang tampil cukup bagus, kemudian konsisten 29 kali. Kemudian mereka juga punya Alex Gerardo, kemudian ada Luisao yang masih sangat betah untuk berada di Benfica. Jadi ini nama-nama yang saya pikir juga menjadi salah satu alasan kenapa mereka bisa cukup optimis untuk bersaing di Eropa atau bahkan di kompetisi domestik. Ya, meskipun kalau kita ketahui bahwa tidak mungkin para pemain yang tampil di Piala Dunia akan sudah tampil ya di pertandingan di minggu ini. Ya. Dan tentunya mereka masih diliburkan. Dan kita melihat ini pertandingan pun dilakukan di Zurich, tepatnya di Swiss, di Stadion Letzigrund. Yang kalau kita lihat memang banyak sekali pemain-pemain muda yang coba dipasang, dan ini Gedson. Ini salah satu andalan kalau kita lihat di kubu dari Benfica, pemain tengah Gedson Fernandes. Iya, salah satu pemain yang dianggap tampil bagus di sepanjang uji coba, Gedson Fernandes. Kemudian meskipun kalau kita bicara penampilan dia di musim lalu juga tidak terlalu mendapatkan jam terbang. Ya, ini kalau kita lihat memang banyak sekali pemain baru yang dicoba oleh pelatih Rui Vitória yang sejak Juni 2015 menjadi pelatih dari Benfica. Kalau Anda melihat dari tim nasional Portugal sendiri ketergantungan akan Ronaldo, apakah muncul bintang-bintang baru lokal dari pengamatan Anda sejauh ini? Kalau kita berbicara Benfica. Kalau kita bicara Benfica sebenarnya mungkin ada beberapa nama, misalnya Carlos Sanchez yang sempat naik daun bersama dengan Benfica, kemudian menjadi salah satu pemain muda di Piala Eropa, tapi justru dia flop ketika sudah pindah ke klub besar. Kemudian Portugal ketergantungan, saya pikir masih ada ketergantungan besar pada seorang Cristiano Ronaldo. Kita tahu di Piala Dunia Ronaldo seperti one man show, one team yang dia bisa menyelesaikan segalanya. Yang lain hanya bertugas untuk bagaimana bertahan, kemudian memberikan bola kepada Ronaldo dan biarkan Ronaldo yang menyelesaikan semuanya. Ya, pergantian pemain tentunya ini akan menjadi satu hal yang akan sangat sering terlihat dalam sebuah pertandingan persahabatan pramusim. Tentunya hiburan bagi Anda di malam hari ini. Di malam minggu Anda menyaksikan pertandingan di iNews. Dan kita akan melihat babak kedua pertandingan antara Benfica menghadapi Sevilla. Yang tentunya menjadi satu pertandingan pramusim dari kedua kesebelasan. Khususnya bagi Benfica yang masih tergabung dalam International Champion Club. Mereka akan masih menghadapi Dortmund di tanggal 26 nanti, kemudian Juventus pada tanggal 29, dan Lyon pada tanggal 2 Agustus. Sedangkan Sevilla tentunya akan menuju ke UEFA Europa League. Baik, kita akan segera menyaksikan pertandingan babak kedua. Benfica menghadapi Sevilla. Selamat menyaksikan.
Goalkeeper with plenty of experience. He's twice won the Europa League with his club. He was also a member of the Spanish squad in the last European Championships. There's the man he's replaced, Thomas Vashlik, who rather like Odias Vlachodimos at the other end, had a very, very quiet opening half. Benfica are now attacking the goal to our left-hand side, wearing their home strip of red and white. They are nominally the home club in this neutral friendly. Sevilla wearing a change strip of all black. In fact, I'm told that Pareja is coming on, and the man coming off to be replaced by Escudero is Pablo Sarabia. Ball knocked forward for Benfica by Fissa, but just content to knock it around in this second half. They were the better team in the first half. Dom, what do you expect from the second?
I think a better tempo of the game. I think for Sevilla's point of view, either Franco Vasquez or Roque Mesa's got to try and get closer to Fissa. He's had far too much room to operate in. He can pick a pass. I think Gedson Fernandes is the more box-to-box player.
Disappointing through ball there by one of the substitutes who's just come on. Franco Servi had an opportunity there to try and get Castillo going in front of him, but he telegraphed the pass and it was easily cut out. Here's Roque Mesa for Sevilla. Important build-up for them. They've got competitive fixture coming up. Two of them, of course, home and away against Újpest of Hungary as they try to qualify for the group stage of the Europa League. So this is really a last rehearsal for Sevilla. Benfica will play in the International Champions Cup, mainly in the United States of America. The other thing that strikes me about a lot of these pre-seasons in this day and age, Don, is the amount of travelling the players have to do.
Absolutely.
You know, they're in Switzerland here, they're playing in the United States. Their last game in the International Champions Cup is back in the Algarve in Portugal. It's a lot of air miles, isn't it?
It is. Players actually don't mind it because you'd rather that than being at your home base, you know, running every single day and going through the miles and putting in the hard yards, where if you're on the road, you're guaranteed games, a change of scenery, nice food. And it's not the end of the world.
No, true.
Unless you're playing against Italian waiters.
I thought you'd put that one to bed.
I can't let it go. I can't let it go.
It's almost as if you're proud of it.
Oh, no, the opposite. Interesting, though.
It's a decent through ball played by Benfica and picked up by Zivkovic, who's just come on, but he couldn't make anything of it. Here's Ben Yedder at the other end coming forward for Sevilla. Always a danger when he has the ball at his feet. Sweeping ball across towards Sarabia. Not a very good ball by him. Fesa easily able to tidy up. I suppose the feature really is the lack of quality in the final ball from both sides. The fact that we were able to pinpoint a couple of examples of good vision and good passing in the first half kind of tells you the story that there wasn't very many of them.
Yeah, well, that 30-second clip there just gone was a prime example of, especially Sevilla, how good they are in the final third. But Paulo Sarabia and Nolito's been very quiet, and no service to Ben Yedder. That's the trio that I think Pablo Mackin would be looking to try and get in the game, because they're the match winners.
Early corner for Sevilla in this second half. Empty stands at that end. The main body of the support is on the far side, and the main body of it is wearing the red of Benfica. Corner will be taken by Roque Mesa. Very good headed clearance by the experienced Jardel. Attempted volley back in, came to nothing by Sarabia. And in the end, it's free kick to Benfica.
Yeah, slightly high foot there from Roque Mesa. If it's a foul, if you're a Benfica player, you're always going to get.
Well, Sevilla, they're looking for a better season than the last campaign. They got to the Copa del Rey final, but of course were humiliated by Barcelona in a 5-0 defeat. Second time in 3 seasons they've lost that final to Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez and co.
And that was a big 5, wasn't it? It was bordering 8 or 9. It was quite embarrassing.
Yeah, and they needed to win that as well. That's what's put them in the mess with the Europa League that they're currently in, because they would have qualified via that. But they do have a Super Cup coming up against Barcelona, which, unlike in recent seasons, is a one-off game, and it's going to be played in Tangiers. Here are Benfica looking to get the first goal of the game here. Not sure whether that was a cross or a shot. Either way, it wasn't terribly effective by Pizzi. Yeah, he had a good first half.
He spotted the goalkeeper off his line. They win it quite high, and Pizzi just on the edge of the box is trying to clip it just over the goalkeeper.
Put too much on it. Only had one effort on target in the whole game. That came from Roque Mesa in the first half, and it was very easily saved by Vlachodimos. Sevilla, of course, have changed their goalkeeper at the interval.
Just a positional change for Benfica as well. Pizzi was playing on the left-hand side. He's now sort of gone to play quite central alongside Fesa. Gedson Fernandez is now playing as the number 10, and Servi down the left-hand side.
6 minutes gone in the second half. Still goalless, not for the want of trying, although standout opportunities have been few and far between.
Yeah, I think if it stays this way, I think it'll turn into both managers probably making more changes on the hour mark.
Lito goes down, nothing given, and it's brought away by Gedson Fernandez, who's gone sprinting through the middle. And this is promising for Benfica. It might open up here. This is the substitute Servi. Crosses too high. Fernandez looking to get on the end of it, couldn't do so. They might rescue it here, but the ball back in is easily defended by one of Sevilla's substitutes, Escudero.
Well, they're more of a threat now, Benfica, because, as I said, Gedson Fernandez is playing really close to Nicolas Castillo, which should offer them more of a box threat. Whereas Castillo was just a little bit isolated in the first 45 minutes.
Yes, they did use Castillo as a rather singular front man. He's got a little bit more support here with Gedson pushing forward. Here's a chance maybe for Sarabia. Good strong challenge though on him to tidy things up. Well defended by Ruben Diaz, who's come on. He's a one-club local boy from Lisbon. In the squad for the World Cup, didn't get a game.
Nolito's not hit the lights over the last couple of years. He was terrific 3 or 4 years ago, came to Man City, never quite settled.
No. Former Benfica player as well, of course. He played 46 appearances for them in a 2-year spell, scoring 12 goals, and during that time won the Portuguese title. Here's Wissam Ben Yedder for Sevilla, trying to get the better of Ruben Diaz. It's a lovely little touch to Nolito, whose turn is a smart one. This is good from Sevilla. So over the top towards Nolito again. Ruben Diaz there, and eventually it was Jardel who thumped it away, but Sevilla menacing, more though so perhaps than they did for the majority of the first half.
Yeah, a couple of big blocks as well from Ruben Diaz. In the last 30 seconds, being forced to put his body on the line. Some good runs. Ben Yedder went out to the left-hand side, and Nolito made a run through the middle.
There's another useful-looking ball if Correa can keep it in, but he couldn't. They look a bit more purposeful, Sevilla, don't they? There's a bit more sharpness about them in the early exchanges of the second period. No doubt the half-time talk from Pablo Machin was an invigorating one.
Yeah, I think Machin would have asked his players to be more positive in the second half, a little bit standoffish in the first 45 minutes. No real purpose to their play, but better in the second half.
Plenty of purpose here from Servi for Benfica. He gets the return ball and is onside. That's a useful ball. Gedson Fernandez, he thought about a volley, and in the end he just touched it back, and the subsequent shot by Fesa was blocked.
I think he'd like that one again, Fernandez, because it looks as though he's going to take the shot on. It was a nice little layoff, but it was there to be hit.
Well, it was an opportunity, certainly. We've got 2 balls on the pitch at the moment. 10 minutes gone, second half. There is the new signing for Sevilla, Ibrahim Amadou. He had quite a busy opening 15 minutes, didn't he, with his new club? Did pretty well in the heart of the defence. Looks a useful addition.
Yeah, he's got a nice turn of pace about him. He's very strong. He's quick over the ground, especially over the first 10-15 yards.
Now then, it's a good chance, but it's not taken. It was the lively Grimaldo who got himself into a useful position, but he couldn't find a teammate at the near post. But Sevilla have contrived to give the ball away to Servi, and that's a corner to them. That was a lovely move, and well, you'd expected better from Alex Grimaldo given his first half performance, but he just had a look up but couldn't find an opponent in a inviting position.
Yeah, Castillo was asking the question to the referee because he thought he got clipped. He thought it was a penalty there. Just keep an eye on Castillo on the edge of the box. He makes a run, very good time run from Grimaldo. I think it was an accidental touch. I don't think it is a penalty.
No, I would agree. It would have been very harsh. Corner comes in, there's the header, and there's the opening goal. Benfica take the lead. Straightforward set piece, the ball knocked into the far post, and the header was firm and accurate and defeated the dive of Sergio Rico, and it's the Portuguese side who have the lead.
Well, at the two number 9s that are playing, Ben Yedder and Nicolas Castillo. Castillo's been the better player. He's deserved his goal. He's worked incredibly hard. He's had some good touches. Poor marking from the corner. Finds himself in half a yard, but a very, very good header. You see Rico scrambling across to his left-hand side. Good power on the header.
Yeah, it was beautifully placed off the head of the Chilean international. He scored against Napredak of Serbia in a 3-0 friendly win just 11 days ago. And he's found the target again. And the set piece has proved the undoing of Sevilla. I think overall you'd have to say Benfica probably deserved their lead over the 57 minutes.
Yeah, totally agree. And it was the substitute, Escuero, that got nowhere near Nicolas Castillo. He was too strong for him.
Nolito was yellow carded in the midst of all that. Entirely sure what for. Nothing wrong with the goal. And, well, Sevilla, who didn't end the season very well domestically at the end of the last campaign, are in danger of losing here unless they can finally find a way through, which they haven't been able to as yet. This is Correa. Just flicked square by Roque Mesa. Still have it, Sevilla, in the Benfica box, although there are plenty of red shirts back. It's come through to Correa again. Needs a decent cross. Good defensive header at the near post by Jardel.
Excellent work from Jardel. Very experienced. He knew where the danger was. Better from Sevilla, keeping the ball, working it in midfield, working out wide to Correa. Put a good cross in. And Jardel in the right place at the right time.
Corner to Sevilla as they try and get back on terms. Roque Mesa is the set-piece man. Corner is wasted. I think it went out of play on its way through. Bent out and then bent in again. It'll be a goal kick to...
That was a good header. Very good header from Castillo. As I said, the substitute, Escuero, got nowhere near him. The other substitute, Rico, could do nothing about the header.
Won the Copa America with Chile in 2016 alongside the likes of Alexis Sanchez when they beat Argentina on penalties. Here's another chance for Castillo. And this time he's rather underhit it with his left foot and forced the save from Sergio Rico.
Struggling to find any flow, Sevilla. Can't string too many passes together.
Certainly the difference in the second half, I think, is that Benfica have started to create things for Castillo, whereas at the other end, that can't be said for Wissam Ben Yedder, who is still scratching around but not getting much service at the moment with an hour played.
Yeah, the two centre-halves, Ruben Diaz and Jardel, are marking him quite comfortably at the moment. That's where he needs some midfield runners. Needs a bit of help up there. That's what Benfica have done. Castillo's now got a partner in Gedson Fernandes.
Well, Sevilla's reaction to the concession of that goal has been fairly positive. Here's Mesa. And now Nolito. He's got Correa for company, but he's gone inside instead. It is Correa now on the ball. This is Carico. Did that go out? Well, Zivkovic, just for a moment, might have been worried that he'd conceded a corner, but it wasn't given. $4,400 people inside the Letzigrund Arena, most of whom you can see on the far side. Both ends fairly empty. Here's Servi, decent looking ball. And Castillo there again, this time not able to make the vital connection like he did from the corner, but gives the thumbs up to the Servi cross.
Oh, it was a cracking ball from Servi. It's all he can do, really. He got it out wide left. This is the goal again. Castillo bullying his marker.
Terrific textbook header, wasn't it? Power and downward trajectory, making it far, far more difficult for Rico to get across, which he couldn't do. Rico beaten 12 minutes into the second half, having come on as a sub. And there's another effort, this time from Gedson Fernandez, who slices it off his right boot, but Benfica are beginning to buzz, aren't they now?
They are, and he looks a better player, Gedson Fernandez. The further up the pitch he plays, he was operating as a box-to-box midfield player in the first half. Just released a little bit forward now to play in that 10 position.
Well, it was his breakthrough season last year. He's made 31 appearances and scored 5 goals for Benfica. He comes from Sao Tome, which is a small island off the west coast of Africa, which is a Portuguese principality. And he's beginning to make a name for himself in the big city.
Always important if you're playing central midfield to try and get towards double figures if you can, goals-wise. 5's not a bad number. I think he'll set his targets a little bit higher this season.
No, he's still only 19.
Oh, what a talent.
Yeah, looks a good player, certainly. Concern for him, Pablo Maquin, who's trying to get his Sevilla players going, but at the moment Benfica have got themselves not only in the lead but back on top in the game in the general scheme of things.
I think the only positive for Pablo Maquin now would be looking at the clock and thinking the majority of his players have got an hour in the bank fitness-wise.
Yeah. As you say, nobody in professional sport likes to lose, but I suppose there are circumstances where it's less painful than others.
Yeah, I've been there many occasions when you've suffered a couple of losses in pre-season. You come in afterwards to first thing the manager and the coaches tell you you've got an hour in the bank or 90 minutes. Yeah, it's the single most important thing.
Here's Ben Yedder, well defended again, though this time by the substitute Ruben Diaz. He and Jardel are a more familiar partnership. We've got Luizão as well, who's reaching the end of his career. A great Brazilian who's served the club with such distinction, not playing today. 37 years old now, Luizão.
Commented on a game last season with Benfica. I'm not sure if it was the Champions League or the Europa League, and he scored a free kick from about 40 yards. Yeah. An absolute rocket.
Well, that's the sort of thing Brazilian centre-halves can do.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was the last, I think it was the last knock-ins, the last seconds of a game, and I even said, he's had a great game, surely he can't score from here. And it was one of the best free kicks I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. He's certainly got that in the locker. Here's Almeida, as Benfica look to get a second. But might be a break on here. This is Sarabia. This is promising, potentially, for Sevilla if he can find Ben Yedder. And he can't because of the attentions of Ruben Diaz, who's done really well since he came on.
It's all just a little bit too much. Sorry, John, it's all a little bit too much for Ben Yedder because he's up against 2 centre-halves in Ruben Diaz and Jardel. They're a very good partnership. Jardel especially, you know, has got all the wisdom.
Got a goal in a 2-0 win. Wissam Ben Yedder against Murcia on Tuesday. But he's barely had a sight of goal. He had one volley in the first half, went a long way over the crossbar. It's just about as near as we've come. We've had over 20 minutes of the second period. Benfica leading through a splendid header by Nicolas Castillo on 57 minutes. Sevilla seeking redress. They might get it here. It's a shot on the turn, but from an offside position by Pablo Sarabia. Wouldn't have counted. Didn't really hit it particularly well with his left foot.
Yeah, I think the referee's just brought that back because there was no advantage. Little foul in midfield.
Yes, you're right. It's that incident which has been flagged up. So this could be a test for the first time, really, for Odysseus Vlachodimos, the former Stuttgart and Panathinaikos goalkeeper, who's had little or nothing to do. We're almost up to the 3/4 point in the match.
Sarabia looks as though he fancies it. He's placing it on the floor.
There he is, number 17. Also alongside him is Correa. You'd think it would fancy or prefer a left footer. And that's what it is, but it's too high from Pablo Sarabia.
Not a million miles away.
It's about as close as they've come, to be honest.
Yeah. Got it over the wall, just couldn't get the dip. See, he was going for that top right-hand corner as he was looking.
Deep had it covered, I fancy. Still hasn't had to make a meaningful save. Lacodimos. Here come Benfica counter-attacking with Grimaldo, and there's loads of space here for Servi. The claiming handball not given. Referee adamant that there was no handball there. Benfica fans aren't terribly happy about it.
I don't think you can give them when a player's half a yard away. It was Franco Vasquez that was literally half a yard away, and the ball got clipped up onto his hand. There's nothing you can do. In my opinion, it wasn't deliberate.
Well, it goes back to Ivan Perisic in the World Cup final, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, in my opinion, admittedly, I was watching it in a bar in Finland, but...
Did you think it was a penalty? Because
no,
I did.
I didn't. Did you?
Yeah.
No, I felt it was arguably too close. I mean, the thing about it was, with the VAR, it was so utterly split. If you looked at Twitter and looked at opinions, people whose opinions you value, 50-50.
Exactly.
Anyway, here's Zivkovic. He's done well there to find Servi, who's been lively, and he shoots. And he shoots wide. I
think the difficulty now for us commentators is actually trying to define what a handball is and what a penalty is, because it used to be quite basic, deliberate or accidental.
Well, it is still that. That's the thing. I mean, you know, technically it is that. I mean, could you say that Perisic deliberately handled the ball? His hand was down by his side. It didn't seem to be a particularly unnatural position to me.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're going to get some more substitutions here. We've got 3 Benfica players coming on. One is Alfa Semedo, number 16. We also have Jonas, number 10, who has come on. And Fesa, Castillo and Grimaldo. There's been 3 of their better players have come off. The other coming on is Yuri Ribeiro. So Fesa, Grimaldo and Castillo, I think, have all played a pretty big part in Benfica's performance so far, but they've been given a rest with 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, well, Castillo especially played his part, scored a nice goal, but he's led the line really well. As I said before, he's got 70 minutes now in the bank.
So just the 2 substitutions for Sevilla so far of their permitted 11. Castillo gets a pat on the head from his coach Rui Vitoria after scoring an excellent header, which continues to separate the 2 sides. Benfica now have 6 substitutes on the pitch, one of whom has just got his first touch there, Alfa Semedo, who has dual nationality with Guinea-Bissau and used to play for Moreirense. Here he is again, finding Almeida. They've looked good at the back, Benfica, you'd have to say. Forward again by Semedo. Into the final 20 minutes, cleared by Vlachodimos. Again, Semedo, the 20-year-old midfield player, is involved. Here's another of the subs, Ribeiro. Strong challenge, but he's still going. He's got Servi for support here. Ball into the box, deflected. Cut back, finds its way via a deflection to Servi. A bit more purpose about Benfica now. This is Ribeiro, and he's won a corner.
He started well. He's only been on the pitch a couple of minutes, Ribeiro, but he's been up and down that left-hand side. It was a lovely run from deep from Gedson Fernandes. They have been by far, up to now on 71 minutes, the best side, Benfica.
Ribeiro's got a brother, Romeo, who is also a former Benfica player. First time cross, high and hanging and dangerous. A little break here kindly for Pizzi. Still has it. The referee's blown his whistle. What's going on here in the penalty area? He's spotted something off the ball. He's having a word with Ruben Diaz. I confess we were watching the play on this near side. Didn't see what was happening off the ball there, but the referee clearly did.
There was a ball that got clipped into the far post and there was a coming together. It was Ruben Diaz and I think Roque Mesa.
Yes. First yellow cards of the match. Brandish one to each team. Ruben Diaz yellow carded for Sevilla, and sorry, Ruben Diaz red carded, yellow carded for Benfica. Roque Mesa for Sevilla. He's going to give a drop ball. Benfica keen to get on with it. Pizzi trying to find Semedo. This is Ribeiro. And Servi. It's a foul on him by his opposite, number 11, Correa. Now there's another bust-up. And it's Roque Mesa has just been booked, who could be in trouble here.
Absolutely ridiculous.
You don't expect to see red cards in friendlies, but we might get one here, you know.
He needs to calm down, Roque Mesa.
Think, says the referee, and that's good advice. Well, confirmation of his yellow card earlier for that flare-up with Roque Mesa. Since then, he's kept out of trouble, but Mesa has almost as if he's gone looking for it. He's
just been a little bit chirpy there. Yeah, he stands on Chervy's hand, which annoys him in the first place.
Oh,
silly.
Daft. Well, I described it in the first half as a feisty friendly, and it continues to be so.
I wonder if the referee... I just wonder if the referee, unless it's a drinks break,
I think it's
because
Roque Mesa's walking off. He might be being substituted here.
Yeah. Well, sometimes a referee gives instructions to a bench, take a player off, or I'll send him off.
We've got a raft of substitutions coming on now for Sevilla.
Bingo time, innit?
Well, we've got an absolute raft of substitutions for Sevilla. Sebastian Corsia, number 2, is one of them coming on to replace Franco Vasquez. Nolito is also going off. So too is Daniel Carrico. I'll try and bring them all up to date for you. 15 minutes to go. It's a totally new look Sevilla side. Here come Benfica then, with almost a totally new look Sevilla team in front of them. Here come Benfica again with Zivkovic. And the ball is swept out wide by Servi. Second chance perhaps for Almeida. And now substitute Semedo.
Just gone through the gears now. Benfica over the last 10 minutes. Absolutely enjoying themselves, popping the ball around. Under no pressure. All a little bit too easy, this.
Yeah, the reaction that Sevilla showed to the concession of that goal was a relatively positive one, but it's rather ebbed away at the moment, and Benfica look pretty comfortable right now.
Well, they're doing the right thing as well. They're taking the sting out of the game. They're keeping hold of the ball really well, being nice and patient.
Here's Servi. Finding the captain, Jardel. That's a good ball by him. Forward to Ribeiro. And now Servi again.
He's played well, Servi.
Yeah, he's been excellent since he came on. Really, really bright. They're up for this now, Benfica, although Semedo can't keep the ball in play. Fede, number 14, is one of the substitutes for Sevilla, who are coming forward now. Ball just about kept in play. Oh, it was a chance for one of the other subs, called Chia, who got forward there. It was tidied up by Benfica. The ball's just gone behind. Is that a corner?
Well, Jardel's been impressive, hasn't he? Looks very calm.
Ruben Diaz, despite his booking, has also played very well at the back for Benfica. It is indeed a corner.
Yeah, it was Pizzi. I think he tried to blast the ball off a Sevilla player. Missed them all and went out for a corner.
Corner is deep and headed over the crossbar. Didn't have very many chances. Sevilla. Marc Gual was the player, number 18, one of the substitutes who got that header in. He was a scorer in the victory over Murcia. He's one who they are placing great hopes in, a Barcelona youth who has been a prolific scorer for the reserves recently. By Jonas, who has had too much chance to shine since he came on in the first wave of Benfica subs.
He's not had too many chances. The ball's been at his feet. Standout player that's come off the bench for Benfica, I think, has been Servi. I think he's been excellent.
Yes, he has been very, very impressive indeed. Down the left-hand side.
And Rocco Messa's been taken off.
Probably for his own good.
Yeah. He's sort of played on the edge all afternoon, hasn't he, Rocco Messa?
Yeah. Yes. Very rarely seen a player so fired up's probably the wrong word. Over fired up for a friendly as he's been this evening in Switzerland. Ball flicked forward as Sevilla look for a late equaliser. 10 minutes to go. Good tackle. Again, it was Ruben Diaz doing the job.
Stayed on his feet really well, Ruben Diaz there. Didn't panic in a 1v1 situation.
It's a good touch by Jonas. That's not a good touch by Fede. And it's a free kick to Benfica. Fede San Emerito, to give him his full name. He has a twin brother, Borja, who also plays for Sevilla, but isn't part of the squad today. Sky is beginning to darken a little bit in Switzerland, where we haven't had the threatened thunderstorms, thankfully. Here's Jardel. That's another foul. They've committed a lot of those lately. We're going to see another couple of Benfica substitutes coming on in just a moment, getting their last instructions from Rui Vitória, the 48-year-old coach. Not a particularly auspicious player. He was a lower league man, as the flag is waved a long, long time before Zivkovic got the ball and tried to put it in the net.
It was well timed. If the linesman's called that for offside, he was so wrong. Onside by a couple of yards there, Zivkovic.
A whole host of substitutions about to be made. Andreas Samaris, number 22. Number 23 is the Nigerian Tyrone Ebuehi. Pizzi is one of those who's making way. He's had a decent game in the centre of midfield.
I think the biggest cheer out the lot was Luis Sao coming on.
Yeah, absolute legend at the club, the Brazilian. 6 titles, 3 cups, runner-up twice in the Europa League. There he is, including painfully in that penalty shootout against Sevilla, when penalties by Oscar Cardozo and Rodrigo were saved by Beto, allowing Sevilla to take the crown. João Felix is another who's come on, along with Luisão, Samaris and Ebuehi. Last 7 minutes. Benfica look pretty comfortable, you'd have to say. Here's the substitute Semedo. It's come off an opponent for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think the scoreline actually flatters Sevilla, because
Yes,
Benfica have been terrific. More so in the second half. They were comfortable in the first half, but they've cruised the second half under no real pressure from Sevilla.
Happy fans will be making their way back to Lisbon.
And he's on the big screen.
I would strongly recommend for a visit. I was on holiday there last year. Wonderful city. If you get the chance, go to the Estadio da Luz as well. Home of Benfica, an iconic venue.
Yeah, stunning ground, isn't it?
Yeah, magnificent. They'll be back there domestically on August the 12th to face Vitória Guimarães. Sevilla's next domestic appointment is Barcelona in the Super Cup in Tangiers. Benfica, as you say, Don, certainly very, very good quality for this victory, if indeed it is to be a victory. There's still 6 minutes to go.
Yeah, well, even early parts of the game, you go back to the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game, Sevilla couldn't get a kick. And they've controlled the game, scored a good goal from Castillo.
Corsier is tackled. Here's Pedinho, one of the substitutes who's come on. And the ball just dribbles behind, which Odysseus Vlachodimos will be happy to do. 84.5 minutes, and the Benfica goalkeeper's not had one remote moment of panic, worry, or even mild discomfort.
No, I think you can see the attitude of Pardo Maki, and if you're taking Ben Yedder off, then you're not exactly trying to win the match, so you're trying to get a lot of players a certain amount of minutes before their first game of the season starts. Otherwise, if you're trying to win the game, you'd leave Ben Yedder on.
That's nicely done. Here's one of the young substitutes, João Felix. He's just 18 years old. Hasn't made his debut yet.
Nice little touch on the back foot there, little Cruyff turn.
Actually started his youth career at Benfica's rivals Porto before moving south.
Great to see young players just starting off in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's so great about these friendly fixtures. The manager can throw them on without seeing it as a gamble and just let them express themselves.
Stars of the future, aren't they?
Not a bad first touch, was it, by João Felix? Semedo's going to take the free kick, I think. It's a short one. Here's Felix again.
It is often where you see the stars of the future in these pre-season games, isn't it? Because it's highly risky to play the youngsters who have not got too much experience in the league campaign. But these are the types of games where you'll see João Felix, and maybe in a couple of years' time you'll remember back where you first saw him.
Yeah, they may get opportunities in the Europa League, not just in the qualifying campaign, which starts for Sevilla on Wednesday, but also in the group stage. But of course, it's a competition so close to Sevilla's hearts. Won it 3 times in a row.
Incredible, that, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing.
Amazing.
To 2016, they also won it in 2006 and 2007.
I never understood over the years how the English teams were a little bit arrogant towards Europa League.
Totally. Well, it's been Huge competition. I mean, Atletico Madrid, the holders, take it very, very seriously. They've won it 3 times as well. And Porto have won it as well.
It was almost like the English team saw it as a chore, playing on a Thursday night and interrupting the Premier League, which was, it couldn't be further from the truth because it's a terrific tournament.
Yeah, I agree. Manchester United, to be fair, won it a couple of seasons ago. Chelsea, of course, beat Benfica, didn't they, in the Europa League final? But I agree with your overall point.
Yeah.
English managers rather too keen to field outright reserve teams in the Europa League.
Yeah, I think Jurgen Klopp lost the final, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. That was a defeat by...
Was it Sevilla?
Sevilla as well, yeah. That was the last of their victories. Liverpool led, I think, 1-0 and lost 3-1. Final few moments here. Benfica look as if they're going to see it out without too much trouble. Here's Semedo with the free kick. Back to Ruben Diaz. To the trusty Luizão. He's been at the club since 2003. 15 years with Benfica. 6 titles. Here he is again.
Well, as pre-season friendlies go, this will be absolutely ideal for Rui Vitória. Comfortable win, no stress, no drama, no injuries.
Yep, absolutely. What the doctor ordered. Sevilla have more important matters to address. Újpest of Hungary in the second qualifying round of the Europa League at home later this week, followed by an away trip to Hungary. They've also got a friendly game against Arsenal in Sweden at the start of August. Before August the 11th, they face Barcelona in that Super Cup. So they've got an incredibly busy schedule. And of course, should they progress against Újpest, and you'd expect them to, there will be 4 more matches to play, 2 in the third qualifying round, and then of course the playoff for the Europa League. It's bizarre, really, that a club who've been so dominant in the competition in recent years will have to play 6 matches in order to qualify for the group stage.
And that first game was later this week.
It's on Thursday, yeah. Final minute then of the 90. There'll be a few minutes added on because of that rash of substitutions that we saw. I don't think that was offside.
No, Luizão was just playing him on.
Probably. Minutes to be added on in Zurich, beautiful city which has been an excellent host to this friendly encounter between Portugal and Spain, which the Portuguese preeminent record-breaking club are just about, you think, to win. Here's Zivkovic wearing that protective cast on his left forearm.
Talented player, Zivkovic. Plays out on the right-hand side, loves to chop in on his favoured left foot.
He was part of the Serbian team that won the Under-20 World Cup 3 years ago. They weren't expected to get that far, rather like Croatia in the senior version last week. Huge crop of talented youngsters, of which he's a foremost member. Here's Ruben Diaz back to his keeper.
Not even looked like scoring in the second half. Sevilla been very quiet.
They've had 1 free kick over the top, haven't they? And that's just about the face of it. Very much second best today. Given away cheaply and intercepted by Benfica. Couldn't make anything of it, though. The through ball by Servi was intercepted itself.
Yeah, you just get the feeling watching Benfica, if they want to go through the gears and get another goal, it's there for them.
Yeah. At the moment they're defending, but Luisao knows all about that. And Zivkovic gets it forward, and there may be a final break. We're in the final minute of stoppage time now.
Should just be a keep ball session now for Benfica. The game's won.
It's neatly done. Well, they haven't shown enough ambition, have they, Sevilla, really?
No,
You'd have to
second
say
best.
that they don't deserve anything at all out of this game, and I'm not sure how many positives their coach will take, to be honest,
No.
other than the fact they're unscathed and they've had a run out.
That's it.
They haven't shown, I mean, they had a poor season last season that needs to improve.
I think that's the only positive. You know, minutes in the bank.
Yeah.
Good test, fitness-wise.
Last chance maybe to get forward. Tackle on Corchia looked a little bit rash, but referee saw nothing wrong with it.
I think going into that Europa League game, more questions than answered.
Yes,
For Pablo Machin.
definitely. Budapest beat Nefci to qualify for that second qualifying tie. All over in Zurich, and a deserved victory for Benfica. Took them until the 57th minute to break through a corner, wonderfully headed in by their Chilean centre-forward, Nicolas Castillo. And it was a lead that they...
Satu gol dari Castillo membuat Benfica berhasil mengalahkan Sevilla di pagi hari dengan skor 1-0. Kembali saya akan berbicara dengan Bung Ma'ruf El-Rumi. Bung Ma'ruf, kesimpulan Anda melihat bagaimana persiapan Benfica yang tampaknya sangat matang, sangat tertata dan rapi di pramusim ini?
Ya, tidak terlalu banyak, tidak ada pergantian pelatih sejak 2015, tidak terlalu banyak pergantian komposisi pemain. Artinya secara teori harusnya Benfica memang tidak terlalu butuh adaptasi. Kalau kita bandingkan dengan Sevilla, mereka butuh adaptasi, pelatih baru, gaya baru, sistem baru. Jadi ya ini adalah efeknya ketika bagaimana kemudian Benfica terlihat begitu dominan di babak kedua, mereka unggul, ya ini menjadi salah satu bukti bahwa stabilitas tim itu memang sangat dibutuhkan untuk sebuah tim.
Baik, terima kasih Bung Ma'ruf El-Rumi, komentar-komentarnya hingga pagi hari ini. Selamat istirahat, sampai ketemu di pertandingan berikutnya. Terima kasih pemirsa iNews Anda telah menyaksikan pertandingan atau friendly match antara Benfica menghadapi Sevilla dengan skor akhir 1-0. Jangan lupa untuk menyaksikan pertandingan berikutnya pada tanggal 23 Juli hari Senin, Liverpool menghadapi Dortmund dalam International Champion Cup pada pukul 03 waktu Indonesia bagian Barat. Saya Tio Nugroho Duridi. Selamat pagi, salam olahraga.